The wedding was intended to be pleasant, but Emma immediately remembered little yet unsettling aspects. She and Sam agreed to marry after 7 years of love, but not because of consensus, but because of waiting strain and exhaustion. Emma hoped this would be a turning point that would help her sense Sam's commitment, but the events before and during the wedding just made her insecure. It begins with preparation. Sam's superficiality and irresponsibility leave Emma to do most of the work. He said his video work was busy but never tried to reconcile with her. This became clearer when Sam chose the wedding date based on the beautiful day in the almanac, despite Emma's concerns that it didn't meet her family's schedule. "But my parents can't attend," Emma worriedly stated. "Then they don't need it," Sam said coldly, as if indifferent. Emma paused at the response. She wanted to fight, but after 7 years with Sam, she realized she couldn't change his mind. Emma felt hollow on the wedding day. Her mother was too worried to go alone, and her father was sick. Emma entered the hall alone, feeling lost in her own ceremony. The family Sam had never met was remote. They didn't talk, but as she greeted, they smiled wryly. However, Sam seemed to enjoy his ceremony. His family spoke happily while Emma sat alone, feeling lonely. Emma saw soothing laughing and evaluating eyes every time she looked at his family's table. She tried to tell herself she was over-imagining, but it became more clear over time. Bride changed outfits after the main ceremony. Emma silently went to the changing room to calm down. Sam requested the red and black dress she wore to the party. "I want everything to be perfect," he stated before the wedding, and Emma agreed, but she still didn't like the outfit. She unintentionally overheard a talk in a hidden nook as she returned to the wedding hall along the carpeted corridor. Through the half-closed door, the voice was audible. "She only married Sam for money," a mocking woman commented. Emma recognized Molly, Sam's sister. "Yes, look at her behavior. It's fake," said Sam's mother. "We have to fix her as soon as we get home." Emma's chest clenched with shock. "She has no value at all. At least I know how to do housework, but it doesn't help anything else." Wounded her more. She remained mute, unable to believe what she had heard. Sam was disrespected and burdened by her family. Worse, they spoke hurtful things at her wedding. Sam's voice reached Emma minutes later. "What are you talking about?" he inquired indifferently. "We're just talking about your wonderful wife," Molly joked. Sam smiled and didn't defend her. Emma couldn't endure. She entered without hiding her pain. "Sam!" she shouted, frightening him. "What's going on here?" Sam paused, looking away. But Emma didn't require responses. She swiftly approached the presenter, handed over her phone, and demanded, "I need you to play this recording for everyone." After some hesitation, the host agreed. All the visitors were stunned when Sam's family's talk came over the speakers. Everyone saw Emma's mistreatment and laughter. Tension rose in the hall. On stage, Emma declared, "I announce the cancellation of this wedding. I can't go into a family where I don't have respect." She left the wedding hall without waiting for Sam or anybody else, leaving the dress, ceremony, and 7-year relationship behind. Emma thought she had made the correct choice for the first time in years. This ended a wedding and started her search for self-discovery. Emma realizes she has a lot to face with Sam, his family, and herself, so the story continues. She also realizes that she will put herself first from now on. Emma returned to her apartment exhausted and furious after canceling the wedding during the ceremony. After making a huge decision, she felt anguish, not relief. Sam still heard her family's harsh words, which cut to her heart. 7 years of patience, sacrifice, and effort to keep the relationship ended in humiliation and betrayal. Emma's phone rang when she entered the house. Sam's missed calls and messages flooded the screen. She finally answered a call. "Emma, what the hell are you thinking?" Sam shouted. "You just destroyed our wedding. Do you know how your family has lost face?" Emma kept her cool, but her voice was firm. "Sam, do you think you can move on after what your family has said about you?" I stood there, listening to them mock me and doing nothing. "This is not love. This is betrayal." "Your family is just kidding," Sam replied. "I'm really too sensitive. Everyone is waiting for us to correct this mistake." Emma heard Sam's helplessness in his words, but she wasn't moved. "My only mistake was believing that I would protect you, that I would value you. But that never happened." I've sacrificed too much for this relationship, and in return, it's just a disdain from you and your family. Emma decides not to return after the uncomfortable call. She prepared divorce papers to quit the relationship that made her doubt herself. Emma learned Sam and his family planned to see her at her parents' house within a week. She almost declined, but she realized this was a chance to confront them. Sam's relatives entered her living room, causing tension. Emma, we're here to sort things out. Her actions at the wedding made our family lose face. Do you think that's true? Said Sam's mother, Emily. Emma sat erect, her gaze calm but resolute. Do you think your family's behavior at the wedding is right? The insults, the contempt I had to endure, do you think that is acceptable? We don't mean to be malicious, Emily explained. It's just that sometimes jokes are misunderstood. Emma laughed unhappily. Misunderstanding? What I heard was not a joke. It's ridicule and disdain, and the worst thing is that Sam, who I thought was going to protect me, didn't do anything. Jack, Sam's father, said authoritatively, Emma, we're not here to argue. We want to know what you plan to do to repair the damage. My family has lost face in front of friends and relatives. Her father, who had remained silent, spoke before Emma could respond. Damage? What is the real damage? His family held a wedding without inviting the bride's parents. Do you think that's true? Jack didn't speak, but his eyes were confused. Sam, sitting next to him, silently bowed. Emma stared at Sam, her voice icy but pained. Sam, you're not only betraying me, but you're also betraying our relationship. I let my family hurt me on our wedding day. And he did nothing to stop them. Do you think you can go on after all that? Sam opened his mouth to respond, but Emma's father said, Our family raised Emma to be a strong and independent woman. If she chooses to end this relationship, it is the right decision. We have nothing to fix. Sam's family was silenced by Emma's father's statements. They realized they can't turn the tide. Emma filed for divorce after that meeting. Sam attempted to save the relationship, but she refused to return. She knew continuing would make her lose herself further. The divorce procedure is difficult. Emma resisted Sam and his family's outrageous demands with family support. Emma felt lightened after the surgeries. Emma divorced Sam like she had fled a nightmare. Her relief after filing for divorce was unimaginable in her 7 years with this man. Emma wanted to finish, but she realized it wasn't just about signing a contract. She faces various consequences from Sam and her unstable emotions. Sam started talking to Emma after getting the divorce notice. The messages and calls began with pleas. Emma, we've been together for 7 years. I can't throw everything away like that. But when she didn't react, he became angry and blamed. You made my family lose face. I only know how to think for myself. Emma's phone rang as she was eating dinner with her parents. It's Sam. This time he left a long message instead of waiting for her to answer. Emma, I can't believe you actually did this. Do you know what kind of pressure you have been subjected to? His family is blaming him, and his work is also affected. Did you destroy everything and just leave like that? Do you know how hard I tried to make you happy? Emma read the message, exhausted and irritated. She used to think Sam couldn't show affection, but now she realizes he never put her first. His statements just concern himself. He shows no empathy for her suffering. As she said, Sam, I didn't destroy everything. I just gave up on a relationship that no longer meant anything to me. Emma was fortunate to have her parents' full support despite Sam and his family's insistence. Emma felt affection and understanding at her parents' house after returning. While sitting with her mother in the kitchen one evening, Emma grasped her hand. You've been through a lot, and I'm proud that you've stood up for yourself, her tearful mother remarked. I just want you to know that, no matter what happens, home is always waiting for you. Emma cried at those words. Over 7 years with Sam, she was used to sacrificing and giving in. She now values herself and feels unconditional affection. Sam and his family persisted. Finally confronting Emma, they hoped to settle. Sam's dad and sister Molly visited Emma's parents' house one day, appearing angry and desperate. Emma, Sam's mother said, trying to be calm, our family was very disappointed because of what she did. You need to correct this mistake. Emma remained calm, sitting upright. What do you think I've done wrong? She said, resolute. You made our family lose face in front of relatives and friends. Jack, Sam's father, said. "We just want him to take responsibility and fix things." Emma's father spoke up after being silent. "Are you going to blame my daughter for standing up for herself? Let's be clear, your family insulted Emma on her own wedding day, and none of you apologized. Do you think Emma owes your family anything?" His direct question puzzled Sam's relatives. Jack, who was normally confident and intimidating, didn't know what to say. Sam's mother claimed, "We just want everything to go back to the way it was. That's why we're here." Emma looked them in the eye. "There's nothing to go back to. It took me 7 years of sacrifice for an unworthy relationship. I'm not going to go on any more days." The divorce was difficult, but Emma persisted. Sam wants to split the property, even though Emma pays most of the bills. However, her lawyer and parents helped Emma resolve things fairly. Sam blames Emma one last time during court mediation. "All I do is for you," he stated dramatically. Without emotion, Emma said, "Sam, all you do is for yourself. Don't use me as an excuse for your failure." Emma divorced 6 months later and left this marriage. Refocusing on her career, she worked hard and developed herself. She gradually regains confidence and recognizes that ending a poisonous relationship is a win. Emma saw a photo of her parents on the table in her office. She grinned, glad of finding herself again. "I deserve to be happier than that," she thought, and she vowed never to let anyone else take her. Emma assumed her divorce and breakup with Sam were finished. She soon learned that Sam and his family struggled to give up. Keep in touch to pressure Emma to return. However, Emma realized that it was now about her self-esteem and value, not marriage. Emma was at home with her parents on a Saturday afternoon when the doorbell rang. She opened the door to see Sam, his mother Emily, his father Jack, and his sister Molly standing in front of her, anxious and frustrated. Emma allowed them in, unable to reject a face-to-face conversation, but her heart constricted as she considered what would happen. The anxiety filled the living room as Sam's family sat down. Emily, Sam's mother, spoke first, attempting to be gentle, but reprimanding. "Emma, our family is very disappointed in your actions. The cancellation of the wedding has made us lose face in front of relatives and friends. Don't you think you've gone too far?" Emma remained calm, staring at her. "You think I've gone too far? What about what your family did on my wedding day? The insults and ridicule that I had to hear on my big day. Was that acceptable?" Jack, Sam's father, spoke authoritatively. "Our family just told a few jokes. She was too sensitive. Marriage is a collaboration between two parties. You can't just decide everything on your own." Her father, who had remained silent, spoke before Emma could respond. He asked, "Cooperation?" Calmly but firmly. "Did your family invite my wife and I to the wedding? Do you value our presence, the bride's parents?" His question puzzled Sam's relatives. Since they had neglected Emma's family's participation in the event, they couldn't respond. "There's no respect, no communication. Is that cooperation?" Emma's dad asked. "Emma has endured disrespect from her brothers and sisters, and from Sam throughout this relationship. If she chooses to end, that's her right." To conceal the situation, Sam's sister Molly spoke up. "We didn't mean to offend. That's just our family's way of talking. But now it's too messy, and everyone is blaming Sam. Emma, you have to take responsibility for what happened." Emma laughed unhappily. "You have to be responsible? Molly, you have been in charge of Sam for the past 7 years. She pays rent, provides financial support for the children's families, and even helps Sam find a job. And in return, what do you get? The sarcasm, the disrespect from the very family you are about to be a part of." Emily attempted to relax. "We just want things to go back to the way they were. That's why we're here." Emma stared at her and said, "There's nothing to turn back. I spent 7 years trying to keep this relationship, but now I realize I was wrong. It's wrong to think that sacrificing yourself will make things better." Jack, Sam's father, shouted for recompense for losing face to his family, escalating the tension. But no one expected Emma's father's remark to hush the room. He asked, "Compensation?" with chilly eyes. "For 7 years, Emma has provided financial support to Sam and his family. I don't think anyone here has the right to ask her to do anything more." Jack was ready to respond when the door rang again. Henry, Molly's husband, enters. Henry blanched at Emma's father. You're the president of the company I work for," he exclaimed, shaking. Chaos spread swiftly. Henry apologized to Emma and that Molly had often criticized her at home. The confession increased tension, forcing Sam's family to leave in perplexity and despair. Emma felt relieved after the encounter. She defended her choice and said she would no longer accept disdain. She went from sacrificing for others to putting herself first after this story. Emma focused solely on work and family for days. Every step proves she doesn't need anyone to depreciate her. Most importantly, she felt she deserved love and respect. Emma felt lighter after a heated argument with Sam's folks. Divorce ends a painful relationship and begins a search for self-discovery. She realizes that moving on from the past takes courage, confidence, and a strong determination to start over. Emma returned home with her parents soon after the divorce. Her childhood home gave her security and calm. In her years of worry with Sam, she had never noticed the sun beaming through the window or the birds singing in the garden every morning. "What are you going to do next?" her mother asked her as they made breakfast in the kitchen. Emma said, "I think I'll go back and focus on my career. It's the only thing I feel like I'm really in control." The mother smiled warmly, her eyes hopeful. "Yes, Emma, put yourself first. I'm always here to support you." Emma was boosted by those words. She rebuilt her life gradually. She's now focusing on her job, which she neglected while waiting for Sam to stabilize her career. Emma is constantly learning, networking, and trying new things. Emma unexpectedly got a letter from Sam 6 months after the divorce. He apologizes in the letter for not protecting her in their relationship. "I was wrong to leave you alone to face all difficulties," Sam said. "I hope you can forgive me, even if only partially." Emma relaxed while reading the letter. She once wanted such an apology, but now it made no sense. The strength she found in herself would make her feel better, not Sam's apology. Emma met Sam again in court a week later to finish the legal paperwork. With sadness and remorse, he appeared slimmer. He stammered, "Emma, you," as he saw Emma. She stopped him with her hand. "Sam, we don't need to say anything more. The past is gone, and I just want both of us to move on. I hope you will find your way too." Sam bowed silently. That was their last meeting. Emma felt entirely changed when she became Sam's. She realized that sacrifice and humility had consumed her for 7 years. Recently, she has learned to prioritize herself. Work and dedication got Emma promoted at the workplace. Her coworkers and supervisors admire her perseverance and independence. She discovers happiness and fulfillment at work, which she believed only love could deliver. Emma enjoys her personal life as much as career. She traveled, took yoga lessons, and spent more time with her family and friends, who supported her when she needed it. Emma feels better, more confident, and more worthy every day. A year later, Emma stood among the laughing and sparkling lights at a dear friend's wedding. Accidentally, the wedding bouquet dropped into her hands. People clapped and joked that this may be a new marriage. Emma grinned, staring out. "Not now," she said softly but firmly. "Right now, I've found the most important thing. Myself." Emma's story is about self-love and liberation after a breakup. She knows true love is sharing, respect, and camaraderie, not unconditional sacrifice. Finally, she was ready to move on for herself. Emma controls her life a year after divorce. She finally loves and values herself after years of sacrifice and anticipation. The failed marriage is now a valuable lesson for her. Emma concentrated on work after leaving Sam. She did more projects she missed, eager to tackle new difficulties she was terrified of. Emma was acknowledged and promoted for her efforts. Emma boldly presented the project she worked so hard on to senior management. After the presentation, the CEO clapped and said, "Emma, your job is excellent. This is the vision we need to move the company forward." It was then that Emma recognized she had reclaimed her self-esteem after years of living under Sam's shadow and his family's tyranny. Emma prioritizes her mental and physical health as well as job. She developed body and mind awareness in yoga sessions. She finds tranquility and stress relief in the training sessions for the first time. Emma talked to her elderly but lively instructor after training. "You've been through something very difficult, haven't you?" she asked, her eyes understanding. Emma nodded, smiling faintly. "That's right, but I think it helped me get stronger." Instructor grinned. "Sometimes, losses are necessary for us to find ourselves again. What matters is the path you're taking now." Emma cheered at those words. She recognized she needed to live for herself, not others. It's been 7 years since she did this. Emma learned the significance of her family, who supported her even when she was weakest, on her voyage. During dinner, her mother observed, "Emma, I see that you have changed a lot. I'm stronger and I look so happy." Emma looked around the table and grinned. "I think it's all thanks to my parents who have always been here and encouraged me. I've never said this, but I'm very grateful to you." Dad nodded calmly. "I never want you to suffer to please others. You deserve to be loved and respected." Emma was at peace after hearing that. Family is her refuge and a source of strength to move forward. Emma attends a close friend's wedding. In the lively, joyful atmosphere, she felt like she had left her past behind. Everyone cheered and teased Emma as she caught the wedding bouquet. Friend came over and laughed. "Emma, is this a sign? Are we going to see you step into the hall again?" Emma smiled, her eyes kind but forceful. "Not at this time. I've found the most important thing: myself." Moving on does not imply rushing into a new relationship for her. She chooses to love herself, focus on her job, and create a happy life. Emma left the wedding party with optimism. Her every move now has confidence and importance. She's no longer the woman who sacrificed for others. Emma is now strong, independent, and ambitious. Emma's story is about exiting an unhealthy marriage and reclaiming her self-worth. Through that path, she learned to love herself and recognize that the best love is her own. Emma believed she could handle anything life had to give.